Hello and welcome back to our podcast channel. And I'm Tony.
I'm Dexter.
I'm Dad.
And we got a Thanksgiving special episode for you guys today. Have you ever seen the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Well, Tony, they can't answer back.
I know.
That is a very messed up movie, though.
Yeah, we watched it today.
And we were like, this is a little weirder than we originally thought.
Yeah.
And now we ended up with a Thanksgiving special.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, hope you guys are doing good on this Thanksgiving.
I kind of pitched the idea on this one.
Yeah.
The kids were like, I don't know. It's not very scary.
Yeah,
but...
it's not. But then we watched it, and Dad was explaining it through the way, and we were like, okay, this is actually terrifying.
Yes, very
and there's
terrifying.
actually some really good theories. There's even one on YouTube, which we have to discuss later on. That's amazing.
Okay. Where do you think we should start out with? The beginning to the end of the movie, kind of?
Yeah, but let's first talk about the movie itself, like just what it is.
The movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, the movie was supposed to be a lot longer.
Apparently,
they had to cut they had to cut like an hour
and
of
a
it
half.
off, like an hour and a half off of it.
3 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they had to recut another half hour off of it because it was way too long. They kept on cutting.
It doesn't matter.
And
though.
the original movie is longer. No, the original the deleted scenes is longer than the normal movie, which is kind of insane.
Anyway, it's a John Candy,
And Steve
Martin movie, yeah.
Good.
It's a
Directed by
really
John
good
Hughes.
Thanksgiving movie.
It's a really good Thanksgiving movie.
I recommend watching it, but
Yeah.
after you hear this episode, you guys are never going to think of that movie the same if you've seen it before.
Yeah. Or maybe they won't read so much into it like us nerds. Yeah.
We read way too much into
We are
Christopher Robin.
psychos.
Okay, at the beginning, well, the main premise of the movie is one guy wants to get home to his family for Thanksgiving.
But he gets delayed multiple times, and he's stuck with this random dude who doesn't even know,
Yeah.
and he's insane.
And the random dude is kind of annoying,
Like
kind
me.
of a jerk.
Oh, he sounds just like me.
You're not annoying. And but the other guy is trying to get him home too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a buddy movie kind of. Yeah.
It's kind of like from strangers to friends, you know. Kind
Yeah,
of like
kinda.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
But if you really look into it, it's very
Very
messed up,
dark.
yeah. In the beginning, Dell, who's played by
John Candy.
John Candy, stole his cab,
And then
and then what?
I think and then
he lied about it. Yeah.
completely, as if he had zero knowledge of it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that John Candy says. John Candy says in the movie that he never lies.
And throughout the whole movie,
He's lying.
he's lying like every
Second.
every scene. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Which
nearly every scene.
mentally-
Like when he starts selling what are they called?
Shower curtain
shower
rings.
curtain rings, and he says, "Oh no, they're just earrings," and he sells them to people so he can make money.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of messed up because,
Then they get on the plane and they just happen to be together just by chance.
Yeah.
because his
Yeah.
ticket got all messed up and he was stuck with him.
Yeah.
He said, I believe he said,
What a coincidence.
he said
Yeah,
like
it's
no,
just
so
a
like first my
coincidence.
flight gets delayed, then I get bumped down, and he was like, what else could possibly go wrong? And you know what happens goes wrong? He gets sat right next to the psychopath.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Dell takes off his shoes on the plane.
Like
Nasty.
an utter psychopath,
Yeah.
and that's just nasty.
I
That
would
is
do
gross.
that. That's
I had that happen to me once.
Ugh.
And
Yeah.
it's full socked shoes off, just
Yeah.
bare feet.
Was it barefoot?
Yeah,
it
he
was
let his
gross.
dogs live.
Yeah.
That's dog bark.
And that scene later, they're delayed. They go to Wichita, and they have to share a room together and a bed together.
Which is kind of weird.
He's
Yeah.
kissing his ear.
And that Neil guy played by
See, Martin.
Steve Martin.
He's a good character.
Yeah.
He's a good
He
actor.
had enough of it. He starts yelling at him, going off on him.
I can
Yeah.
see why.
Yeah, because he's annoying.
Annoying as heck.
Yep. And man, I'm sure like that Neil Page guy, you know, cold-hearted guy, cynic, yeah. And Neil Page is very germophobic too, like me.
And in one scene, he was barely touching the phone.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't touching his ear or near his mouth anywhere. He was
Yeah.
just holding it.
that's something I would do
Yeah.
with the phone. Except there's no payphones anymore, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, what happens after that? Okay, they get a train.
Mm-hmm.
The train breaks down.
And then the train conductor's just tell them to walk a whole mile to
Yeah.
the inner-
Which I believe
an
is
interstate.
technically illegal.
Yeah, they would never do that.
That's illegal, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, that guy could get in some serious trouble for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just have people wandering around. That's nuts. And anyway, they're in St. Louis, and he rents a car, but the car's not there. So he has to walk 3 miles back to the airport, and he's cussing her out. That's the best scene ever.
Yeah,
I want a effing car, right?
Effing
Yeah. We're not swearing. That's not effing. Is not a
No, I
bad
said
word.
you can.
Oh, I'm not gonna swear.
It's PG-13.
And the lady says, "You're effed."
and she's like, where's your registration thing? He's like,
Yeah.
I threw it away. And then she says, you're
Yeah,
effed.
yeah. What a great scene.
That is the best scene
No, she
in
says,
any
oh
movie.
boy.
And then he says, oh boy, what? And she's like, you're effed.
Yeah. And
Oh
then
my God.
they just by coincidence they meet back up again
Mhm.
because he's yelling at a taxi attendant or whatever.
Mhm.
They meet back up again, and so they take off from St. Louis to Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And somehow this trip, that is only a 4.5-hour
Hour
drive, takes like
the rest of the movie.
takes them the rest of the movie.
And
It's
it's
like
like 2 days.
yeah, it's 2 days. Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, what are they driving? What are they doing? Driving backwards?
Well,
They did it.
they did at one point, and then
And-
and that's when they go through this
Oh,
semis
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing becomes psychedelic.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
turn into skeletons.
skeletons,
John Candy turns into the freaking devil.
devil,
Yeah.
which might have to do more with like Steve Martin's like this guy's something's wrong with him.
Messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Steve Martin knows something that
Yeah.
no one else knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's what the whole video is about.
Yep. And then they have a talk. They get to a hotel room, which I don't know why they would do that. It's only 4 hours to Chicago.
Yeah,
so-
I
Yeah,
know,
you could drive there. And
Yeah, just drive straight through, man. Tough it out, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Don't be an idiot.
Although their car did catch on fire, so
Yeah,
Well,
they
so
might have been freezing their ass off. I mean, butt off.
it's okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know,
It's just.
but the car would have been warm because it was on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like free insulation, even though it's like 3rd-degree burn insulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the other things that's weird is that how did they not smell? Okay, so basically how the car fire started, I forgot to address this, is John Candy was smoking a cigarette and he tried to flick it out the window, but he was going so fast and the wind blew and then went into the back seat.
Yeah.
Here's a question: why did they not smell the cigarette smoke still in the car?
Yeah.
That's the real question I have.
And also, car would not go up like that.
On the cigarette,
Yeah.
no.
Doubt it,
Yeah.
because
Unless they
that's
had gasoline all over the seats or something.
Yeah.
yeah, interesting theory.
Yeah. It'd be slowly, and it would not burn like that. Yeah.
And the
would
worst
just
thing that would
burn
happen
through
to the
the leather.
car, yeah, and the worst thing that would happen to this
It burned
car,
through the,
it would just burn a black hole through the little leather. Like,
yeah, or pleather, or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably get some pleather.
Yeah. Anyway, back to John Candy being a psycho.
psychopath.
Yeah. He stole his credit card,
Mm-hmm.
which
Uh-huh.
is very messed up.
Very messed up.
Used it for the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And puts it back in his wallet, which is good, I guess.
Yeah.
But the car burns, so he has no credit card.
Yeah, so now all of his credit cards are.
Oh yeah, and what's Steve Martin? I
Uh-huh.
forgot the name of his character.
Neil.
Neil Page says, "Hey," Dell, please remind me to grab my wallet from the glove box because he puts it in there as he's going to sleep.
Major foreshadowing, right?
Yeah,
Major foreshadowing.
major foreshadowing. But Dell just does not remind him, and lets the wallet and all his belongings burn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. They just got in a car wreck, so I'm picking up stuff off the side of the road. So, I mean, maybe they didn't have time to really
Address the wallet.
Address the wallet, yeah. But anyway, they finally get to Chicago. Oh, they have that night together at the hotel. And they talk about a bunch of weird stuff like John Candy's like, yeah, I haven't seen my wife in forever. You know, I never been home in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of just weird cryptic stuff that
And
That
we're gonna
really
get,
helps this episode.
yeah, that
We're
really
gonna
helps.
really
us.
pushes
we're
our
gonna
theories.
get into our main thing in a little bit after we finish talking about the movie.
And they finally get to Chicago, and then on the train ride to his home, Steve Martin's like, man, he's finally putting stuff together. He's like, huh, you know, he said this, he said that.
His wife's been dead for. He realizes his wife's been dead for 8 years. He realizes his wife's been dead. And,
Well, he realizes something's going on. He doesn't know what's going on
Yeah.
for sure. And he's like, man, I better go back and check on him. So he goes back on check on him. And then John Candy's like, yeah, my wife's been dead for 8 years.
and he doesn't even own a home.
And that's
He
a
doesn't
real,
have a home. He's homeless.
real culture shock right there.
Yeah, he's basically just like a traveling salesman. and stuff
But
like that.
somehow he gained enough money to travel from one spot to a different spot.
Well, he's a traveling salesman.
True.
Yeah.
Who can barely travel.
Well, I'm sure he's barely living, but yeah, he's making by. Yeah. And so Steve Martin invites him to his house for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep.
And then at the end of the movie, he makes that face. That's,
Oh my God.
The face is like a smile. I'm about like a smile, creepy, angry smile. It's like,
Yeah, I know, we get it. It's creepy.
it's very, very, very.
Anyway, if you never want to sleep again, pause that. And then look at that face
And
of
then
John
really,
Candy.
and then really
Look
just
at- look-
enhance.
yeah, and look into his eyes.
And then you're never gonna sleep again.
You never sleep again. Yeah, it's the creepiest, half smile, half psychotic.
murder
Laugh,
face.
murder
face,
face.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's very creepy.
it's like
Very.
It's like the face John Wayne Gacy would make before
Yeah,
he
that's
kills
good.
someone.
Yeah, John Wayne Gacy.
Because you
is a big
see in
guy.
John Wayne's in the pictures with John Wayne Gacy, he has that creepy smile on his face.
And
Just
and,
like
and doesn't he have like red? And doesn't like. I forgot. I don't know.
Oh, thanks, Asher. That
Yeah,
was great.
good job.
Great way to keep the momentum of this
Good
episode.
research, Dexter.
Honestly, another thing I want to talk about is something that's going on with Tony's face
Oh,
right now.
Dexter, no.
It's come on, it's funny.
Oh,
It's just a spider bite. Shut up.
Spider-Man bit him.
Yeah. An 8 foot tall spider bit him. He's got the massive scar on his face.
I don't find it funny.
Looks like the reverse Harry Potter thing.
I'm dead.
Okay, anyway, Dexter, let's
Anyway,
get back.
sorry
Come on.
about that, my fault.
So we looked up on what was it? YouTube? Yeah.
YouTube.
And they have a theory that
That's really good.
okay, anyway, the theory is that John Candy he murdered his wife and is carrying his wife around in his big trunk.
We've got to say
And
that
he's
is
on
big
the
trunk.
run.
And he's on the run from the police.
And he's on the run for 8 years. That's why he's a traveling salesman. Yeah.
And one thing about
And he
that-
keeps his dead wife in the trunk.
Yeah, which is also weird. And also one thing about that is when in one scene the police were pulling him over and John Candy looked terrified.
Yeah, and also he keeps his trunk double locked.
2 locks.
2 locks. Why would you do that?
I mean, it's just a trunk. Like, come
Yeah.
on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get most trunks would have like a lock on there, but nobody needs 2 locks to keep to keep stuff in there, which we would presume closed, but we never see him change once.
Well, I don't know. I was never paying attention
I was.
to his wardrobe. You were paying attention to his wardrobe?
Yes.
Huh. Strange.
Maybe I'm the psychopath here.
Yes.
Anyway, that's a good theory that he killed his wife
And he's on the run.
and he's traveling with the corpse. That is psycho.
Psychopathic right there.
And at the end of the movie,
The smile.
the smile. But he's gonna murder Steve Martin's family.
And one thing, the theory on YouTube, it said that because they went to a taxi to go to a hotel, right?
Taxi to go to a hotel. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it was that one taxi with the
Oh yeah, with
Yeah.
the creepy guy with the devil stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's an accomplice.
yeah,
Yeah.
apparently he's supposed to be his accomplice.
Because he
in
does
murder.
that cool little wink to him, like, ding, is this your
Yeah.
next victim?
Oh yeah, is that your next victim? Yeah.
Like, kind of the wink.
Yeah.
The wink is, like, really creepy. Probably is
But-
code for, are you going to kill him? Is that your next victim?
But John Candy was playing the long game. He knew he was gonna get to the family.
He knew it.
He knew he was gonna feel sorry for him.
Yeah. And do you want to know something that's weird?
What?
The reason why it took them so long to get to Chicago is because most of the time John Candy was driving. I think he was trying to lead him somewhere, and then I don't think he was trying to like
Oh, very far-fetched theory here.
Yeah,
Dexter.
very far fetched, Dexter.
get to
'Cause he-
his
'cause he
house.
wanted-
I thought he
'cause
just wanted to kill him.
Dexter, he wanted more murders.
He wanted more, yeah.
So he wouldn't stall him just to kill him, because then you never would have gotten to the family.
Yeah, he wants the family. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And maybe leave Steve Martin as the last victim so he can
Yeah.
X eyes, essentially.
Okay, utter psychopath.
Anyway, if this movie were to go on, you know,
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles Part 2.
yeah, or an hour longer, it would be a disaster. It'd be a horror movie. It'd be like Event Horizon, where I thought it was a sci-fi movie, then it turns into a horror movie.
Yeah.
That movie
So
is
the
the
story
scariest
is-
movie
So this would be a
ever.
comedy movie,
And then all of a sudden to a horror movie.
yeah.
So then what happened with our dad is he got Event Horizon, and he wanted
On
to watch
pay-per-view?
it, like
Pay-per-view,
pay-per-view. He was like,
I knew nothing about it.
He knew
Yeah.
nothing about it.
I thought it was a sci-fi
He
movie.
was like, okay, it's gonna be a good sci-fi movie. Yeah, hopefully it's good. Hopefully I like it. I'm just gonna watch it and find out. And then later, the guy's eyes, he's the other guy like peeling at his eyeballs. And Dad's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Scariest movie ever. Anyway, let's get back to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay, not psycho space movie.
Yeah, but that's the theory that's going around. You know
Is that
John Kennedy is a mass murderer.
But that's like the only theory we could find. I think that's because we look way too much into things.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for that creepy smile at the end. you
Yeah.
know,
Then we never would have done this.
Yeah. But I think that's about it. What do you think, Dasher? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, other than the fact that he's a vicious murderer who wants to kill, who's gonna kill Steve Martin and his family.
Yeah. So how many murders does John Candy have? I mean, he's a traveling guy, you know. He's got.
I mean,
He's probably got a ton.
he probably's got hundreds.
Mhm.
I mean, if it were real. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
definitely
crazy.
he'll have Neil Page, Steve Martin,
His wife.
his wife, and what do they have?
His
3 kids?
3 kids.
That's
and,
5.
And then there was 2 extra older people in the house.
No, there was 4 because
4?
his side, his family. So there's 4. So that's 9
That's
potential.
9.
That's
Murder.
9 potential murders.
10.
We know one,
9.
maybe for sure his
and,
wife.
and for sure his
10.
wife 10.
10 for his wife.
But he's probably been killing for
Years. So
8
he,
years on the run.
Yeah.
he could have plenty of murder time. And let's talk about the coincidences. How many times he got to be with Steve Martin every
Oh, yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too many coincidences. He's had to been following him around.
Quote unquote coincidences. though.
Yeah. Yeah. John Candy had to been following him around.
Coincidence? I think
Planning
not.
this. Yeah, planning this. You can't just be sitting next to a guy. You can't just run into him in certain places.
Like
Multiple
with
times.
Multiple times.
throughout an entire state, you happen to
Yeah.
run into him like hundreds of times and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna kill you now."
Yeah.
That's just.
Maybe because Steve Martin was so mad at John Candy about stealing his taxi. John Candy's like, okay, this is my next victim.
Mm-hmm.
When they met at the airport, that was a coincidence.
Yeah.
But every time after that,
He knew he was
He
going
knew-
to kill him.
well, yeah, he was just following him around.
Just following him around like an utter creeper psychopath.
Yeah, playing the poor me card, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Way too
Yeah.
many.
Yep.
Way too many coincidences.
So definitely 10 murders on the
Yeah.
plate. Well, maybe the grandparents left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely a murderer.
Definitely.
So what do you think, Tone?
John Candy. Well, no, not John Candy, because he's an actual. Well, he's not alive anymore. But he was a actual okay dude, unlike his character.
Yeah.
In Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
What Dell.
Dell.
Dell
Del
was,
Griffith,
Dell Griffith was
a psychopath.
a alleged murderer who's been on the run after
8 years.
after killing his wife for 8 years. Has probably maybe after 8 years he's been killing people very slowly. So maybe around. I'm guessing. How many murders do you think he's gotten throughout 8 years? I'm
Oh
going.
man, probably hundreds. That's what I said. Probably hundreds. Yeah.
He's probably just killed random people who've wronged him, just like.
Yeah. Or that he's pissed off about. He was pissed off about the cab thing.
Wait,
Yeah.
the cab. What's that random cab driver who grabbed Steve Martin by the balls?
Oh yeah.
That's probably gonna be the next victim.
No, because he doesn't care about that. That didn't happen to him.
He wanted that to happen.
Yeah, he wanted that. He wanted that pain to happen to Neil
Steve
Page.
Martin.
Steve Martin. Yeah. So yeah, it's a good movie. Great movie. Maybe
But-
maybe we're reading too much into this,
I
but
mean- I mean-
maybe a little.
only a little bit, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Only
it's a fun movie.
I-
It's a fun comedy.
It is a great movie. Got a lot
And it'd
of
be a
people-
great horror movie if they made it into a
Oh
horror
my
movie.
god! If they just all they have to do is in the end credits, because apparently there's an end credit to the movie, but it's just the random guy in the beginning looking at a picture,
Yeah, that. But what if the end credits were like
like
him like
pulling out a knife.
pulling out a knife? Yeah.
Then it would be a horror movie. That's all you need.
Yeah. What a cliffhanger, right?
Yeah.
That'd be the greatest cliffhanger ever.
Mhm.
Okay, Dex, what do you think? We're all done?
Yeah, I think that was a
Good. Happy Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know, just,
Yeah, gonna have some turkey. Gonna not sleep tonight after pausing the movie right on his face and staring into his eyes, into his demented eyes for like a minute.
Okay. Tony, do the John Candy face of oh wait. Yeah, that's it. Right there. So scary. Okay, well say goodbye, Dexy.
well, goodbye.
Happy Thanksgiving,
If
everybody.
you guys are watching this on Thanksgiving, have a happy Thanksgiving. But
And just a warning. Good luck if you want to watch this movie.
Okay, bye.
What should we talk about next time?
Oh yeah, shoot. Well, we're gonna do holiday movies.
Ooh, we
Home
can
Alone.
do The Grinch,
Home
Home
Alone,
Alone.
The
Grinch. Well, I don't know about the Grinch.
The Grinch.
Yeah.
He has a very.
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Gremlins should be our next episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do holiday spooky movies.
The
So-
Grinch does have a very troubled past.
Okay, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.